What's the best time of year to wear a kilt? SpongeBob reference here.
Silly question.
What's the best time to wear a kilt? I reject the premise of your question, sir. The best time to wear a kilt is today. And whatever day it is. Any day that ends in Y, one of those things. I would say, I'll give you a practical answer and a more broad answer. So the best time of year in my mind to wear a kilt would be spring and fall.
Yeah.
Yep. Wool fabric, 18 or 16 ounce, 8-yard wool kilt would be great in cooler days. So spring or fall are my ideals. That said, you can wear it year round. I do.
Yeah, totally.
The kilt is probably the most versatile garment that you will own, period. Mm-hmm. It is a proper made 8-yard wool kilt can be worn very, very casually as well as very, very formal. There's no, if you were wearing tuxedo pants to change the oil in your car or to mow the lawn or to run errands, you would look odd. If you're wearing a pair of ripped jeans to a formal dinner, you would look odd. In a kilt, you can hit both ends of that spectrum. You can do the most formal as well as the most casual events or circumstances, whatever, modes of dress in an 8-yard wool kilt, in a 5-yard wool kilt, in a nice looking kilt. So the kilt is by far the most versatile piece of clothing, piece of kit that there is in the world. Yeah. I challenge anyone, and let me know in the comments, is there anything you can think of that is as versatile as a kilt?
Flat caps.
No, because I wouldn't wear this formal.
Converse All-Stars.
That's a tough one. I hate Converse All-Stars. They hurt my feet.
I've never been a Chuck Taylor fan.
Yeah. Guys, before we dive any deeper into the question, I want to remember. I forgot something. If you want to remember, if you want to know, we actually have an entire community that we're trying to build here. Go check out our Reddit, our subreddit, Kilts and Culture, as well as our Facebook group, Kilts and Culture. I'm just cracking Eric up today, screwing this entire thing up. Thank you for joining us. Now, back to the question.
No, it's true. I think, I'm fond of saying, and I've written this a few times, that basically this is why Highland dress is the most popular, most successful, in my opinion, and freshest, most creative national dress in the world. Yeah. Cultural dress. Because it was not invented soup to nuts as a uniform the way other national dress was, especially in the 19th century. That's when in 18th and 19th centuries when you see countries starting to care about having some kind of national costume. Kilts go with so many different other garments. They're absolutely the most flexible garment in the world, like you said. What was the other point I was going to make, Rocky?
I have another point if you want to think about it.
I'll think about it. Why don't you go ahead with your point?
Please. This is a very, very obscure reference, and if you are a New York hardcore fan, you will get this. There's a band called H2O, and there was a line on one of the albums when they were doing a spoken part before a song or whatever, talking about hardcore music versus grunge music. Grunge music was a style of music from a place in a moment in time. Like Seattle, early 90s, it was the perfect, petri dish for grunge music, but that's where it was, and that's almost like where it was perfected. Versus hardcore is all over. Now, I'm applying that to this and saying, everyone else, every other national mode of dress almost feels like a thing stuck in a moment in time for a national dress, a cultural dress. Yeah. Where the Scots, where kilts, where Highland dress feels like it has evolved. It's gone past. It doesn't feel like if you're wearing a kilt, you are automatically from 1745, or you're automatically from 1820, or you're automatically from 1926. There's no precise moment that it always points to. It's evolved over time, and it is still fresh today.
Or more to the point, in my mind, other national dress, you tend to only look in place a lot of the time in like a parade setting, a performance setting.
Or a wedding. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a performance setting.
Yeah.
Whereas a kilt you could wear, as we've said, basically every day, and it's just as valid regardless of context. I think Japanese traditional clothing comes very close, if not similar level.
Okay.
But again, they have the similar attitude about it. They don't mind updating it in some ways. As for the seasons, I do think that it's definitely a spring and fall thing, simply because not the kilt, but the other layers you want to play with. Winter is fine, but summer, it's hot. It is more fun to play around with the layers and stuff when you're in a temperature zone, a weather zone, which is a little more similar to the country in which this stuff was developed. So a damp season, especially the fall, just feels right because the tweeds are just that much more comfortable that time of year. They blend. They tend to be a little bit more on the earthy side, so they blend with fall foliage better. Highland dress in general just feels to me like a lot of time a fall thing, and also that's when you have more holidays. I mean, between just general turning of the seasons to St. Andrew's Day and then Christmas. I mean, that arc right there is like a perfect time, and then you have a lot of festivals in the early part of the fall, like our very own beloved Celtic Classic. So I think that's probably, if people don't think about it too hard, they will say fall. But anytime is a good time.
Yeah, gun to the head, fall's probably the perfect peak kilt wearing season.
I'd say for dressing up in Highland dress in general.
Yes, but
with all the soup to nuts.
Agreed. But if you throw on a performance polo and a pair of lighter weight kilt hose or a pair of cotton crew socks and boots or whatever,
right.
It's still fine for summer. And if you're in the winter and you throw on a sweater and a pair of thicker wool hose and you have layers on,
right?
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
indeed. All right. Marty, what were the audience people's reacting?
The peoples.
They pretty much agree with you. The one guy says a few weeks in winter it might be too cold, but other than that you're pretty much good to go when he comes to when he's in Texas. Everyone else is pretty much always good to go.
What, you weak down in Texas? A few weeks in the winter too.
You want to start a problem with Texas?
Really? I'll start a problem with everybody.
Okay.
We're from Philly. We do this. This is how we do. We live in the Northeast, dude. Like Alaska has us beat for weather, but no.
It's just gonna pose like this.
Oh no, it's too cold for me. 2 weeks during the winter. Get out of here.
And then before we get attacked by Texas,
if I don't want my my dangly bits to be frostbitten, that's fine. You are not going to have that issue in Texas. Man up, wear the damn kilt. Marty, next.
And the 10-gallon.
And the 10-gallon. No, don't wear a 10-gallon hat with it. No.
Windy days are the other bad day. In case you Maryland.
That happens less often than you might think.
I would also say, but for windy days, just wear freaking underwear and be cognizant of wind gusts. When you have a sporran on, realistically, the front is not going to be the problem on a windy day. It might be the back.
It's the back.
So somebody sees your butt in your underwear. Oh no, it's the end of the world. Who cares?
Yep.
If you have the guts enough to wear a kilt, it doesn't matter if someone inadvertently passing because there's a gust of wind, and I'm going to keep doing this like I'm throwing my hair back. It doesn't matter if someone is going to see your underwear for a split second because a gust of wind came. You're not going to get arrested. It's fine. Just wear a pair of friggin' underwear.
There you go.
Watch out for women with leaf blowers.
Fair.
That's a Dragon Con thing.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah. Although they never actually expose anybody. There's an art form to leaf blowing the kilts when they do that. They do not expose anybody.
Art form. It's very high art.
Serious. Yeah.
Very high art. Yes. Indeed. You have to go to master's degree level of leaf
probably.
blowing. Yes.
Probably.
Indeed. All right.